right, well, I'm going to do a reading here. Kind of for myself, but obviously if you've come across this, it's for you as well. So we're going to burn some sage and light some candles. It's kind of a heavy energy, but it's not heavy like any past version of the same energy. If you know, you know. Okay, let's light some candles here. I call in Mother Goddess. Call in my guides and angels. Call in your guides and angels. I listen to tarot readings sometimes on the different social media. I find that I come across a reading that I want to be mine, so I claim it. Like, oh, that's for me. Amen, so it is. It's basically just like a suggestion for anything. You go, well, that feels in alignment with me, or that doesn't feel in alignment with me. I find that when I find tarot readings that say particular things that I like to hear, then I come across more tarot readings for that same thing that I like to hear. And that's the logarithm, right? So I know that my thoughts, and I know that what I focus on every day creates my reality. That doesn't prevent me from going through times where I forget or I am unable to have a thought that is in alignment with that, let's just say. All right. So let's burn some sage. Let's clean some energy. I call in all available angels. I call in my guides, Mother God. We repel any negative energy. Be gone, negative energy. I do not wish any negative thoughts. I invoke permanent peace. I invoke permanent joy, and so it is. Amen. I love having a peaceful life. And I know that my programs enjoy chaos. And I know that chaos can be an addiction. And to let go of that. Some people, it might be meddling in the lives of your children. You know, always, what is your spouse doing all the time? Always trying to control other people, you know, so that you don't ever have to feel you. There we go. I found this in Montana, this horn, and isn't this cool? This feather, I just love it. So we're going to burn some sage, just a little bit. We're not going to be smoking out my tarot room here. I found myself in need of some oracle, and I decided to go ahead and do it on camera. And so what words resonate with you are for you. Ask Spirit to show you clearly what it is that you need to know. And I understand there's times like today is, at least in part for me, where you can't hear Spirit. You can't connect with Spirit. You don't feel like there's anything there. And that's because I went through major upgrades, major removing of old programs, and all the new is not here yet. So I go, oh, okay, well, this must be depression. Okay, is it depression? This must be, oh, I'm just going through withdrawals because, you know, I'm not, doing something every day or stirring up some sort of chaotic energy that's feeding some sort of effects that, you know, my domestic violence growing up as a child, believing that to be love. Like, maybe it's just because I'm at peace that I feel this way. Maybe I don't have the words, I don't have the prayer, I don't have the connection to God. I want get up and do something different. Sleep. I'm dry fasting. I don't know if you've ever heard of, I'm going to let that go ahead and continue to cleanse the room. And dry fasting, I started about 5 years ago, so that's no food or no water. Study about it, it's really interesting. And I learned a lot. First of all, I learned that I had no idea what hunger was. The pains I thought in my body were hunger were not hunger. They were parasites. They were energetic parasites. They were something that wanted me to feed something emotionally. They were like, if you'd eat carbs at night, you crave carbs in the morning, you think, oh, I'm really hungry, I need to eat. But that's not really what it is. Now, dry fasting will eat old tumorous material. It'll eat any old debris in your body. Dry fasting uses excess fat as water. Dry fasting for me was amazing in taking some sort of fluid off the brain. I had no idea. When I seen that I had it, when I see my pictures before and after, I was like, wow. And so I would do it. I did it when I still lived in the car. And I would do it like 16 hours a day. I didn't want to do 24 hours a day in a car because I didn't want to get, too weak or whatever. I started to drive around, started to do things to survive. And so I would mostly do 16 hours. So, or 20. But I would use a 4-hour period to eat. And I wasn't on a strict diet during those 4 hours. I just ate whatever I wanted. And so 16 to 20 hours a day. I tell people, 12, not giving you medical advice, because if, I don't even know what to say to that. I don't believe one thing a doctor says. They don't care nothing. Nothing. No respect for, hospitals are only emergency medicine. Believe what you want, don't care. Do your own homework, don't care. My videos are for entertainment purposes, and I know what I know and what I've seen, what I've experienced, and whether you believe me or not is nothing. Yeah, I can't believe people still listen to doctors. Oh my God. Which will probably get YouTube to take this video down, because even when I suggest that, anyway, moving on. So, yeah, I might have to remove the dry fasting part because YouTube might remove it, and that's not why I'm spacing out right now. I'm not spacing out. You are spacing out. I'm not. I'm looking at the beautiful trees. I visit with people about doing 12 hours a day. Even if you do 8. I used to study this stuff, You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty, and by this German doctor, and it was really good stuff. I thought you said you didn't like any doctors. Okay. All right. Well, I like to study information put out by doctors and non-doctors and everybody everywhere. And I don't even know if he was a doctor now. Okay. Trying to embarrass me here. Oh my God. This conversation. Anyway, we're going to do a reading here, but it's this German author. You're not sick, you're thirsty. And talked a lot about salt, sea salt, really good, healthy salt, and of needing that to absorb water and just the power of salt. My whole life, people were on me about salt. Just crazy, right? They listen to one source, and I know this stuff, right? I read hundreds and thousands of sources, and they know what's best for me. And when I say I know what's best, they're like, oh, you know what's best. You're the... Which I cut off one family member in 2020 for that, over the health stuff in 2020. It wasn't just that he said whatever. It's just that, that I don't know best for me. That I was 50 then, studied alternative medicine, which is, so I've studied thousands of books, thousands of documents, studied with herbalists, studied with witches, studied with, just homeopathy is, just pure magic, right? The essence and the energy, it's amazing. And there's so much out there to know about healing people that isn't in the mainstream. And dry fasting is like your body's own intelligence. So when you don't have any food or water, your body uses what's there that's the excess, so half dead cells. And it was so exciting to me. I wasn't going to do this video about dry fasting, but because I am dry fasting now. So what was exciting to me, when I do any sort of cleanse, I like to study about it because it inspires me to stay on it. And yeah, I'm going to put this on YouTube, so I won't talk about any more of that. But, I used to say there's a cure for everything. It's called reading. So there you go. Anyway, it's funny. I was looking around for a drink of water or something, but I'm dry fasting. So what was one of the very exciting things to me is that dry fasting will eat half dead cells, and when they're gone, new ones will form. So it's a way to increase your stem cells and get, get new. And healing triggers and traumas and parasites. I mean, it's just magic. I had no idea really what it was about when I first started doing it. I just kind of fell into it, and I guess spirit led me to it, and it was very important. Before that, I used to spit a lot. I babysat this one kid, and he was my little buddy, and he used to come and he's like, "Why do you spit all the time?" And I just did, and it was this kind of this white plaque. I didn't even know, but after dry fasting, and I did it a lot for many, many months, and I did lose quite a bit of weight. The weight can come back, cannot come back. It just obviously depends. But I was like, well, the weight coming back is new. It's new frequency. It's, if that's where the body wants to be now at this certain weight, hold this certain energy, it is what it is. And so, because some people are like, yeah, but the weight comes back. Well, it comes back if your lifestyle is conducive to it coming back. Exactly. If you're not moving a lot and you're eating certain things. But the silver lining there is that it's new energy. It's new cells. It's not building on top of sludge. And my head size never did come back. And I couldn't believe it because I thought my head was just kind of bigger because I was, gain weight. But it wasn't. Because, now it doesn't matter what weight I am. My head does never do that again. And I'm like, wow, I was really glad. So I know that in my 40s or my late 30s, I went to a naturopath and had these different tests done, and I was forming a brain tumor. And I did some things for that to make that dissolve that I won't be talking about on YouTube, but we're going to be free soon. And we have X, so where we can actually talk about, the truth. We can share with each other what we've done to cure, and we don't have to be tortured by oncologists and a different doctor name for everything that just tortures you. And so dry fasting is one such miracle. All the things that they say are scary, research them yourself, including researching turpentine. I mean, unbelievable stuff that's out there. But I do now, like I do 12s in dry fasting. I shoot for 12 because I like to psychologically give myself a psychological crutch. And I don't just start my dry fast and then go, oh my gosh, I'm going to do it for days. I used to think that if you didn't have food or water for 3 days, you would just die. I don't know if that's an old reality or if that ever was a truth or where I got that. At the same time studying where shamans would fast for days, in the woods, or sometimes 30 days just for a vision or whatever. Sometimes liquid fast, sometimes dry fast. And that book, Mutant Message, I remember about, them dry fasting in between watering holes, and how they'd be so clean. And the author was like drawing flies and stuff because she wasn't really clean and pure because, she didn't do that, kind of the different cultures. And in Mutant Message, it talks about, that we're supposed to be able to grow back limbs and grow back organs and things too. So there's all that out there, and I guess that's stem cells and the fact that we shifted from one reality to the next is pretty freaking amazing. It's funny, my programs just wanted me to get on with the reading because, like, I'm boring you. But the thing is that I don't care if I'm boring you. You don't have to be here. This is not, I'm doing this video for myself and whoever comes across it that could use some information and some upliftment on what's going on in the world right now. Today's energy it has a density to it, but it's a different track. It's a different reality. It's a different earth, and everything that I'm doing and how I'm approaching different emotions that come up for me, I'm approaching them different. It's like, take a different direction, take a different way. I'm not able to do the things I was doing before the first week in November. it's over. It's a new earth. They make me ill. I only want to do things that are part of what I'm bringing in that's new. And I have semi-big, sort of decent sized project on my plate to do on the computer, and I just can't seem to do it. I am going to do that, but the things that Spirit is sending to me, like just be, and you'll know 100%. You'll know when you know, and these things are frustrating to me because I want to know now, and I don't want to sit here in doing nothing and meaningless and which is what I craved. Peace. I have peace. I don't have anyone pestering me today. I don't have anything on my list that I have some things on my list, but I just am not into them. And life is good, and life is beautiful and peaceful, and my programs can't stand it. It's like the Joneses, you gotta get something going on. We gotta go. We gotta get a busybody, and so to just be is kind of the challenge. Anyway, so I'm currently in my dry fasting. I was shooting for 36 hours, but last night at midnight, I was like at 30 or something, and I started to feel kind of headachy. I don't want to be uncomfortable, like in pain. So my headache, I decided to go ahead and eat. And then after I ate, I took about half an hour to eat, and then I went on the dry fast again. I don't know what time it is now. I think I got 8, so I think I'm 16 hours into it again. And I just measure it by kind of a head feeling. If my body's feeling kind of weird, then I just cut it off. And but doing it in the vehicle was fascinating because I drove everywhere. I had plenty of energy. I walked on the beach. I went for walks. People are like, well, you don't eat, you don't have energy, you don't, but that's just not true. But definitely be prepared that when you do eat, you're going to be tired. But it gets stronger and stronger. I did a 48 once. I did almost a 3-day one once. And I like to sleep when it is going on. I just like to just keep sleeping because I like to. But I definitely have energy to walk around or do whatever I want. But I like to sleep to distract myself from eating. Eating is sometimes, it becomes a habit too. So anyway, let's see what the cards have to say today. I'm going to do the camera next time different here because you can't even see my Shungite pyramid, and you can't see my crystal ball. Let's move the crystal ball over here so you can see it. It's not exactly light. Yeah, I think we'll put it over here. So this is a really cool wooden bowl, and I just love it. So yeah, you can't see all the cool and groovy things on my table. I have a think about how I'm going to do this next time. I suppose I could think about that after my video. See, I do. I get self-conscious on what you're going to think of my video. Don't. At the same time, I don't care. Right? I don't care what you think of my video. I'm doing this reading for myself, and I am sharing it with you. Okay, so I couldn't remember if I had the burn a tiny little bit of sage, Sometimes you do things. Okay. And then we're going to do a yes or no, too, questions. So I might keep those in the back of you. And I'm going to do them for you. I know, that's going to be tricky. So, whew, it's kind of hot in here. Let's see. Okay. haven't really done readings on camera in this particular setting, so things aren't exactly set up. I can't even see the candle. Can you see the candle? Yeah. I could. Yeah, that's what I could do. I could lower my mushrooms. These, I just love these. They're just so awesome. Yeah, I'm not going to lower them because I can see them from other places in the room that I just love looking at them. I think they're magical. So maybe I'll put something down below here. I like to have the background look a certain way. Anyway, it's not the dry fasting that I'm spacing out. I'm not actually spacing out. Depression was trying to come in on me, and I'm like, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna move around. I'm gonna go for a little walk, do my exercises, and I'm going to do a reading. And as I sat down to get ready to do a reading, I was like, I think I'll do my reading on camera so that I have that information for myself and share it with you. So here we go. I love orbs. I have hundreds of orbs. All right, so I got some dragon cards the other day, and they disappeared. They must have went into the draconian realm. But what's interesting is these are the Wizard Tarot, and they have dragons on the back. See? Now, I wonder, let's see, maybe we could get some more light in here. Ooh, that kind of lit up the mushroom, didn't it? Let's see here. Huh. All right, well, I suppose there'll be different times. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, Spirit, give us some guidance on this changeover energy, this transition. What actions to take? I just be. Spirit just keeps telling me just be. Spirit show me, because I said, well, I struggle with just being. Well, then just do. Spirit's like, just go walk, go run until you can't run anymore. And I've been that's one of the tools I use. I just go run. I just run back and forth out on this. Anyway, TMI. Really? TMI, too much information? You think you're giving your viewers too much information? No, I don't think so, because I actually probably give you too much information every time we talk. And Spirit's showing me things. I'm seeing a lot of things. I'm seeing a lot of visions. I don't feel spacey. I don't feel ill, with the dry fasting. I've been having amazing dreams. My dreamscape is different. My dreamscape is like visiting another parallel reality, where I'm a different version of me. I don't recognize the people. I don't really recognize the themes. I don't live a life like that. And two, with the dry fasting, I haven't been like watching things on the internet. I've been internet, and I haven't been watching TV. And so I don't know where the images are coming from. And I feel like it's working stuff out in another parallel life. In this life, I don't have family in my life by choice. I choose who I'm around. I don't be around people who are don't speak my same language. And I kept thinking there was more of us, and I know there is a lot of us, but there's so many in the world that's still going on, where they're still chasing validation in a lover. They're chasing success in college, and they're out there in the matrix, believing the matrix true, and therefore it's true for them. But I just never was. I never lived that sort of life. And um, being a lesbian, I learned really young. My family wasn't blood; it was what I make it, and not the people who didn't necessarily approve of me. And I don't, need approval. I like to say that, but if I didn't need any approval at all, Spirit said, then I probably wouldn't find myself in times where I feel like what's lurking is that I would label as depression. If, what is it that you just constantly need things to do, or things to be busy, or, you know, um, and it's very exciting, this new world that's coming online. And in between might feel like a void, might feel like a depression, might feel low vibe, but there's something really great coming online, and it's coming online for you. And this is just kind of shedding the old still, Spirit says. Um, we're going to have so much fun available to us, and it's hard to see past the way people are acting right now. Like, I don't want to be around any of that. It's hard for me to see right now from this vantage point to envision them all of a sudden just getting it. But I get it. I see things. I can ask Spirit and get an answer pretty much on anything I want. And I have a spirit guide that can answer me any question in the universe pretty much with pretty darn good accuracy. But that doesn't make me like happy and joyous every day. And my goal being, permanent peace, permanent joy. Um, I reach the goals of survival by kind of repeating that every day and talking to. I used to cry out to my programmer and say, bring me this, bring me that. And I created what I asked for. And I have it. And I have my sacred space. And it's funny, I don't know if you've heard the crayon analogy of like, you have a ticket, and to your destination, and you don't need to push yourself. It'll be obvious, right, when it shows up in this lifetime. You may know that you're going to do this certain thing, or write this certain book, or have this healing center, or have this whatever it could be for you, some sort of business or some sort of dream, and it's there, and it's there, and you're going to do it, and it's some sort of ticket to ride sort of deal. And you're sitting there at the station waiting, and you got your ticket, and then you're excited, and then you get impatient because you're like, there's no trains showing up, and there's no and you keep checking your ticket, and Crayon's like, you can't miss it. And so there you are, just sitting at the depot. And I was thinking about, this house, and me, just that I'm sitting here at the depot, and the universe is completely taking care of me. And when I get depressed, it just showed me the same thing my spiritual advisor told me. So depression is a side effect of an addiction, of needing constant activity. When your fight or flight lets up, and it's like using a muscle, and then the muscle relaxes, and then you do it more and build it up. I can't quite describe it, but basically the vision that Spirit's showing me is that depression follows letting go of fight or flight. And so I'm like, well, then it's an ebb and flow. I can only have one or the other. No, um, depression also. What was it that come up today about being? I forget. I forget. But yeah, I can totally see that. Of it's just a, you think you're depressed, but really you're relaxed, and spirit's just saying, just be. You're in a spot of peace, and you identify it as depression because you're not in fight or flight for that moment or that day. You shift out of fight or flight, which creates a chemical addiction and a fear, and so then it feels like depression, but it's not actually depression. It's peace, and you don't know what to do with it. Well, I'm open to that. It's a little bit confusing, but okay. So the Seven of Pentacles jumped out. So let's just look at that first. And I like to look. I do a psychic reading on the cards, and I like to look at the book from the author to get their intention of it. And then I have this other tarot book I like to look at. In general, I've said this in another video. It's funny, I never finished it. But that when I was young, people would I would give people readings, and I would just know stuff, and so they would be afraid to be around me because they said that they felt like an open book, and they didn't want me to just see things all the time. And I'm like, well, I don't just look unless I get permission. So, but when someone comes through the door and they already have a permission of, like, they want a psychic reading or whatever, it's like I can read them, I can read their energy, I can read all the stuff. If they've set up an appointment for a psychic reading, I can see it. I begin to see it the moment they engage with me, the moment they get into my quantum field. And so people like tarot cards because they like to know that they give permission in that one moment, and that you can't see that stuff all the time. So you do a reading, like, oh, here's what the cards are showing, but really the cards are giving a psychic reading, and I've already got a pre-psychic reading. And so, Spirit's bringing me that. I really love this Seven of Pentacles in this deck. I don't know if you can see it. I'll show it to you another time, but it's just so beautiful. I love all of the pentacles, for one, because I love pentacles. But this card's happy to me. It's so funny. It really does represent that, because she looks kind of down in the dumps. And the girl, she's got a big old cool witch hat on. And she's got a pile of books in front of her. And in this really cool room. So this beautiful dresser and amazing. I love the pentacles, and I love the colors and candles and elixirs and this beautiful metaphysical room. The curtains are like this, velvet, like burgundy velvet, and have these beautiful flowers over them. I'm not usually into flowers. These are pretty subtle. Again, I don't think you can see it. Maybe I'll try to show it to you in the book version. And then looks like musical notes on both sides of the curtains. And then outside, in the stars, and there's different orbs and really cool colors. But it's just, and her chair is a burgundy velvet, and it's just the room where she's at is just beautiful. It so represents, like, I'm in beauty. I have my beautiful wall hangings, and I have my beautiful crystals and books, and sitting there going, oh, honey, no, do. Just like she is. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So Seven of Pentacles. And I just love pentacles. To me, it's like being thirsty and quenching a thirst. Pentacles to me are. Here's a bigger picture of it. You can see that. Isn't that neat? I can see, you can't see very colorful on it, but pentacles are like a nutrient to me, and represent, all the elements of earth and ether and spirit, and they're just very magical to me. I've just loved them since the first time I saw them, and they just feel like a nutrient to me. They just are just beautiful, and I love them, and I would never invoke anything evil on them. Anyway, Okay, evaluation, reflection, measuring, return on investment, harvest, reward, appraisal. Okay, so pentacles represent the earth, the body, diligence, resources, the physical world, creation, manifestation, and receptivity. As we reach certain levels of achievement, it is natural to evaluate our lives in order to determine our next step. The seven brings the energy of assessment into the foreground, the forefront. Is foreground and forefront the same word? Foreground. There are times in life when you've done all that you can, but still have to wait. Whether it is fruit ripening on the vine, a pie baking in the oven, or an elaborate alchemical experiment, you can't rush the fruit, the pie, or the experiment. That only leads to ruin. Unlike the time of waiting in the Three of Wands, this period should be used for review. So, fascinating, right? All the things that we just already said. That's exactly what we're doing right now, and that's what I'm doing. It is a review, and it's also a review, as Spirit show me, of other timelines and other aspects of ourselves. And what I've come to in this transition is unlike any other transition I've had before. What I've removed from my life and my operating systems and my expectations of this human life are bigger and grander than ever. And I can completely see, as the world moves into this, fully into 4D, and because 5D is not physical. And we'll talk about that in another video. But corruption being dissolved, the old fading away, no system of government or of medicine or of money or religion or jobs, or no system will be the same this time next year. Everything is going to change. Everything is changing. And as light workers and star seeds, or maybe truthers, and all of us that united to get to this step, now we're back to individual. We are, yes, there are certain people and energies and things that need to meet up with us for this next step, but we are birthing our realities individually, what we're letting go of and what we're moving through individually, and wallowing in self-pity and or seeking and chasing other people to validate us constantly, both addictions. And to just be is a huge challenge for some folks like me. Just sit here and just be in peace, just read my magical books, and just be in magic and be in supernatural peace and bliss every day. It's an impossibility for me at this time, and I've prayed for help on that, and I believe it can be. And so my goal is permanent peace, permanent joy, and to really sit and just be in what is, and allow what's next to come to me gently and lovingly, without pushing it, without expectations. It's funny, sometimes when I think about the next step, I'm already missing this place. I've had a thing in my life where when I go on to the next phase, I'll miss the last phase. Never really enjoying the now of the now phase. You know what I mean? People do that oftentimes in relationships. They get into a new relationship, they lament about the past one. They can't wait to get out of it. They got to let it go. It's not healthy. It's not this. It's not that. They make a really good, clear decision to leave, get with someone new, and then they just lament about the past relationships, all the things that were good, even though they were the ones that brought the good things, or the good things weren't really good. They just can't be in the now, in their new relationship. Anyway, so this this card is really amazing for that. Check and double check everything, because there's still time to make adjustments. Evaluate your process and determine if there are ways you can improve quality or efficiency next time. If there is still time after that, just keep a close eye on everything. A watched pot will eventually boil. even if it feels like it takes forever. But an unwatched pot is likely to boil over. Yes, that's one of my life themes as well. Leaving a pot to boil over. I'm going to do that again. So there are times in life when you've done all that you can, but still have to wait. So you're just waiting, like you're waiting for the fruit to ripen. Just wait, just peacefully wait. And Spirit, I ask that you help us to peacefully wait, and give us the information, give us the visions, give us the clarity to peacefully wait. All right. Let's see what this book has to say about the Seven of Pentacles. 7 used to be, I wonder if it's still my favorite number. I really like 444. I've aligned with that for quite a few years now, probably 10. But I've always liked the number 7. And I had it on I was a softball team called the Wildcats. I was number 7. Every time I would get to pick my own number and things, I would pick number 7. So, there's that little side note. Okay, so my spiritual advisor wrote here about the 7. Do not abandon projects even though it may seem the easy option. You will have to go through it all again to learn the lesson. Okay, so don't abandon projects. I'm not sure what that means. I have to ask her about that. But I kind of get it. I get the energy of don't abandon a project. Right, you're just going to have to finish it. Yeah, there are a couple things I'm definitely not going to abandon. I'm going to finish, follow through as I go to this next phase. But there's also other ways that I will be making things happen. Energetically, manifesting and moving energy to move certain things out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, and bring other things in. Okay, so slow and steady growth, taking stock in one's investments. So very similar. And again, we're still talking about the 7 of Pentacles. Perseverance. Reevaluation of a project you've been working on. Waiting for results. Hard work will eventually pay off. Patience, persistence. Yeah, I'm just not inspired to... my inspiration now is do nothing. But in doing nothing, you have the ebb and flow of what looks like depression, because it's like, well, in nothing, there's nothing. Right. Letting everything settle, letting the energy settle, letting the dust settle, letting the electricity of it all settle, letting the intentions and the charge and everybody's energy at it, just letting everything go. Like the electrical charge on something, just completely letting it go. And then when it rises back up in the new energy, it will be completely changed. And oftentimes now I'm one of those who I get physically ill, kind of as a yes or no response to something. Like if this direction or that direction to go. And it's weird. I've actually sometimes, not necessarily upchucked, but it's almost immediate. Someone will say something and I'll gag and I'll try to have to stop myself from throwing up. And it's just an automatic reaction to something they said. It's not like I'm being dramatic and going, oh, bleh. It's an automatic reaction from my body. My body literally, physically repels information and people. Okay. A waiting period, a plateau, patience, slow but steady gross progress. Attentive nurturing, pausing to make considered decisions, time for change. Long-term projects, a lull during the development of an enterprise. Reflecting on what you have accomplished thus far, a time for assessment and future planning. a choice being between risk and security, a welcome financial change, waiting for results. Slow but sure, you've come a long way, baby. And this reading, if you're here, is obviously for you too. Depression. Sometimes I am just always, actually not sometimes, but I'm always in awe of how the cards are just so right on, right? So it says negative, and then it says depression. A sense of failure, a feeling of wasted effort, collapse of a project, loss through speculation, work done without pay, premature cessation of a effort, like it didn't come to fruition. Something missing, failure to pursue a profitable or opportunity, difficulties, dissatisfaction, imbalance, malfunction. Okay, right. So it seems like these things are happening, and they're bringing something that is a literal and metaphoric depression. You know, like where there's flat ground, and if the ground goes down, it's a depression. And yeah, but it's a feeling that it's a wasted effort. If you are following your highest excitement, there's never no such thing as a wasted effort. You're leading somewhere, and even if it's only somewhere that spirit knows, you don't have to know where you're being led, just that it's on your path and on your mission, because it feels like the next exciting thing for you to do. And that's your higher self telling you what's next for you. And when you factor in what's the next exciting thing for you to do, that's always with integrity, meaning, you don't just kick other people to do it. Anyway, in its positive aspect, the Seven of Pentacles indicates that you may feel like you've been wasting time on a project. But this is not the case. You've reached a logical place to pause and assess the development of an ongoing project or enterprise. Your patient work is producing slow and steady growth. You have reached a plateau, but there is still much to do, and your consistent effort will eventually pay off, even though you do not yet see the final results. This is time to cease your efforts. Oh, this is not the time to cease your efforts. So to me, that means that it's just to know that it's a pause in the continuation of those efforts. And not necessarily a depression. The Seven of Pentacles advises you to reassess and reevaluate your progress, to decide what you still need to do to accomplish your goal, and to apply consistent effort until you succeed. Your finances are taking a turn for the better. In the end, your hard work will be rewarded. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Reflect on the words from the book of Genesis. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on that he rested from all his works of creations. So yeah, so that's a good way to look at it, right? On the seventh day, God rested. So we've created all of this stuff. We got all these things up in the air. We got some things that have finished. We got some things that haven't begun. We got all this energy from what we've created in the past, and now we've created it all. Now rest. And then the next step will be obvious, Spirit says, which is frustrating sometimes, when you're sitting in an energy, yeah. It's funny, I have airball sentences even when I'm not dry fasting, as you know. So, in other words, okay, so unless you may feel like abandoning a project you've labored long and hard to develop. You may realize that all the work you've done won't achieve your goals at this time. Your health may be under par, perhaps due to malfunction, imbalance, or infection. And so, also, understanding that you might feel like you've labored over a project, but it's just done. I had an aunt tell me in my early 20s, I was writing all these books, and I was like, I just can't come to an end. And she's like, well, maybe there is no end, right? And I guess maybe that's where trilogies or series come in or whatever. I was just like, well, I can't put an end to the book. Which reminds me of a dream I had last night of a book that I wrote, and I wrote the book in a day and printed it all in a day for myself. Most of my writings are for myself. Fascinating. Okay, so in other words, okay, so we've done that. And then not abandoning the projects. Okay, so that was the card that fell out. So what we're going to ask the cards now is what to consider next. What are we looking at here? I guess let's say for the next month. Today is December. Well, let's see. Christmas was 26, 27. It's probably around the 28th. I only know what day it is when something's pressuring me to be or do something on a certain day. Most of the time I don't know what the day is. All right, Spirit, so show us from today, like right now. All right, so Spirit says it's the energy of today and moving forward over the next 3 days to a week. So this is a now thing. All 3 cards are going to be about the now, right now. And we're not going to, yeah. I see it, Spirit, I see, okay. Okay, so the Ten of Swords, and you never know. So reverse, which way did I turn the deck? What was my intuition? So a lot of people don't like to read reverses. And a lot of people look at reverse as the opposite attributes of that card. But when you have the Ten of Swords in reverse, it's like it's like an ending. You got all the swords in the guy's back, usually in every tarot. So then you go, well, it's nice to feel warm. I guess this smaller room is because usually in my videos I'm like, brr. Ten of Swords is typically an ending, right? Death of the old, getting ready for the new, but you're sitting there feeling it. He's got all these swords in his back. He's laying on the desk. He's like, ugh. So, yeah. So let's look at the Ten of Swords. And as yes, definitely an ending, but the new beginning is not here yet. And so it seems to me that one would have to, heal up those wounds in the backs. Yeah. Anyway, it's the bigger picture if you can see the Ten of Swords. Yeah, he doesn't look too comfortable, does he? Okay, so surrender. So surrender to what is. Ending. Stop fighting. Giving in. Giving up. Acknowledging endings. So that's the main 10. And then it's interesting. The board on the background here in the Ten of Swords seems to have some of the Bashar symbols. That's kind of cool. So reversed melodrama, refusing to let go, denial. Okay, so that's probably kind of where I'm at too. I get clear visions every day on what's next in the world and the template that I'm going to be able to use to create my next life. I'm resisting it. Maybe I don't believe it. Maybe melodrama is perfect because I'm being like some sort of a time to shut the curtain. The darkness is upon us. I love the big dark, by the way. So I'm like, oh my gosh, the big dark. To me, it could be dark most of the year. Yeah. Where in your life are you being melodramatic at not wanting to let go of what's no longer in your life? It's not here. It doesn't feel good to do it. It doesn't feel good to chase it. It doesn't feel good to have it. It doesn't feel good to pursue it. But yet we think of the time of where we might have wanted it, so we go, oh, well, okay. And then we bring in the melodrama, the sadness, the depression, because we want something to be in our life that isn't. you wake up and go, well, this is the same day as it was yesterday. What am I to do? What do you do different today? Well, walk backwards, Spirit says. Pick something up, put it down different. Change the energy of the day, and different things will come into your perspective, which is oftentimes frustrating, right? Because in the world of, TikTok, you kind of want that in your outer world. But as humans, we're not ready to just change realities that fast because we're fickle, we're melodramatic, we're addicted to low vibrations and chaos, and then the sexual programs and the need for others to validate us and putting ourselves down. And there's just so much that factors in that we need time to move in order to manifest. Whereas once we master our emotions, we can move realities quickly. So once we come into a knowing and we fully accept and we can be at peace, we can simply shift. When we're dealing with our childhood trauma, childhood abuse, programs from our ancestral line, we're still clearing all of that out. And so to just shift to the reality that I want, first of all, well, what reality do I want? And if the only thing that you want is peace, just over like permanent peace, permanent peace, permanent peace, permanent joy, permanent joy, permanent joy. I want to feel peaceful every day. I don't want to feel anxiety every day. I don't want to be afraid of what random thing could just pop into my reality. I want to trust myself to say, well, no. Oh, there's something? No. There's something? No. No. So there's that. Okay, swords represent air, the mind, intellect, logic, thoughts, communication, truth, problems, solutions, and actions. The 10 tells stories of completion, fulfillment, and excess. They are sometimes a realization of the ace's potential. Other times they are warnings about having too much of a good thing. No matter how hard you try, no matter how right you are, no matter how unfair it is, you cannot win them all. You know the situation is done, and no amount of complaining, fighting, or scheming can change it. You can look and not find a solution. Close the book, pull the sword out of your back, recover, and move on. Well, that's a lot, right? But it's not so much about winning them all. It's about being in the radical now of what is. Yeah, there are some things you can change, but you can't change other people, and you can't change whatever it is that's shifted. The whole entire world and universe and dimensional realms shifted. It has been shifting. It shifted for a while, but November, boom, done. It's done shifted. It's not done shifting, but it's shifted into this whole other world where everything before it is almost every single thing is irrelevant. Whatever you thought relationships were, what you thought politics was, what you thought money was, what you thought your life was, it's done. It's a whole new world. And we're clearing out the old, and we're sitting in the pause, and we're sitting in what is. And the Ten of Swords is a reminder to not try to hang on to the addiction of wanting a solution to get it back the way it was, wanting systems to be the way they were. Let them change into where they're headed. It says maybe there's a lesson here. Did you take a sword of truth and turn it into a complex worldview that finally collapsed on itself? Did you turn the swords on yourself? Are you using the situation as an excuse not to do anything or to be a drama queen? Well, yes, perhaps I am. Use this as an opportunity to change your thinking. Maybe someone turned their truths against you. Yes, some minis did. So it goes both ways. Okay, which manifested as hate, prejudice, or cruelty. Okay, it says maybe someone turned their truth against you, which manifested as hate, prejudice, or cruelty. Yes, someone's did. If this is the case, learn to shut the nonsense down fast. Right, so you just say, I don't prefer to have this in my life, and you let it go. Well, that's really easy to say, Crystal. Like, I'm happy now. I'm not doing this reading to be instantly happy. I'm doing this reading to say what, for Spirit to give me and anyone who comes across my video information on what we're doing right now in this transition of energy. Whenever anyone comes across this video, it's their transition for them. This transition of energy for me, what advice does Spirit have for me now as I'm moving through this to assist me to keep my vibrations high and to not wallow in depression or in lower frequency emotions. And so it is done. Now let's look at this. I want to look at the 10 in this book. So, this is a really good book, by the way. What is it? It's Tarot, plain and simple. Anthony Lewis. It's an older book. Tens are, always an ending, but they don't have to be. The Ten of Swords is a very dramatic ending. So, stabbed in the back, the end of a cycle. Okay, but the reversed, kind of similar in this one. A forced change, an emotional cutoff, a decision that alters your life, the death of a matter, surcease of sorrow, death of an illusion, a permanent stalemate, separation, pain. Right, letting go of oh, that's all upright there too. So okay, through this process of change, you feel you are losing your landmarks. This is what my spiritual advisor had wrote in the book. So you feel like you're losing your landmarks. It made you feel secure, feeling unsettled and confused, which can also translate as depression. So you're like, okay, well, now what? So I'm awake for the day. You go, well, I'm up. Now what? What matters now? What do I want now? What do I want to do with my day? What do I want to do with my life? Where do I want to focus my energies? And Spirit just says, just be and just let it come to you. And so we might have had a landmark where we woke up and we knew we were going to work on this, or you knew you were going to go to this certain job, or you had to do this certain thing with your kid or your neighbor or your project or your something online. You got this thing, go, and you got a landmark of what you're going to do, and you get up and you just go for it. And when it's all over, there's no landmarks. There's no like, well, what am I doing now? What does today hold now? If I'm not focused on this project or this person or this emotion or this thing, then what now? And I've been through heavy times in my life of that, of going, well, why bother? What is it? What is it about today that's like, today's the same day every day. Get up, you do the same thing. What does it mean? What is the meaning? And Spirit would bring in more and more of that. I am bringing in light codes, and I am anchoring these lights and of my purpose here, and really reminding me and communicating with plants and with birds and beaches, communicating with just bodies of water and eagles and bringing in the light codes from the new sun and grounding those into this new reality, things that I chose to do before I came to Earth and I don't remember, and that make me forget that I have any value or that any of it matters, or that the programs get to say, well, there's this fun thing you could go do. Yeah, but I got to do this and this and this to go do that fun thing. Then I'm either tired or whatever. There's whatever's going to happen at it. But the fun thing's over. And the fun thing is just about a feeling. So then I'll just be like, I can just conjure up this feeling of the fun thing. And then there it is. I don't know if you understood any of that, but it's not even just the dry fasting talking. Okay. Reversed. Oh, thank God. I like this one. Whew. Okay. Ten of Swords reversed. The worst is over. Whew, shoo. A change for the better. Improvement. Can you tell when I like the reading? Okay, I like this version. Problems abate. The end of a cycle, and new beginnings. Emerging from the valley of darkness, surviving a disastrous situation. The power of prayer. Accepting help from others. Turning to a higher power for assistance. Amen, and so it is. Near death experiences. Yep, been there, done that. Overturning a serious threat to life and limb. Yep, amen. Light at the end of the tunnel. Amen to that. News about death and dying, an obituary. Well, amen. Return. I don't really have anybody in my life that I feel that about. Like, I'm not afraid of anybody dying. Any person that I've ever loved or really connected with back in the day has either already died physically or metaphorically to me anyway. They're not in my life. So I do expect to hear at some point my mother's passing, and I will adjust my energy. But I've done ceremonies already with her of letting go long ago. She's not a part of my life, and we are in no contact. So my spiritual advisor, my bestie, I would definitely miss if she crossed over. But in general, I don't have a fear or an issue with myself dying, and I don't have an issue with anyone else around me dying. To me, I know death. It's just a process of life. And so that's why I said that way. Okay, so the worst is over. Every cloud is a silver lining. Okay, drastic change, chronic, drawn-out problems, life-threatening illnesses, recurring past disruption. Okay, if it's a negative, in the negative aspect of it, it could be, yeah, those things. But I don't want that. Okay, yeah, you may receive death of someone dying. You're emerging from a period of emotional turmoil, hurt, and sadness. The worst is over, and your problems are beginning to resolve. Out of the recent pain, something of value will emerge. Improvement lies ahead. You or someone close to you will be able to overcome a hazardous situation. Okay, survivors. Yeah. Okay, and so the next card here is justice. Justice. Woo 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 woo. Okay, so with the reversed swords, and then justice is upright, the reversed swords is reversed, and then the page of swords is reversed. Okay, and they're both on the sides of justice. Now, justice typically means you reap what you sow, and boy, do I know that I have sowed good. I don't care what anybody says about anything. I have always acted within honor and truth and integrity, and I know that when that moment comes when I reap everything that I've sown, that is a beautiful, beautiful time, and it is to be rejoiced. So I like the Justice card. All right, so let's see what we got here for the Justice card. And Justice cards, what number is it? Okay. Justice, karma, cause and effect, equality, truth, responsibility, integrity, fairness, judgment, contract, legal action, lawsuits, trial. All of that is happening right now. So that's good. You expect life to be fair. Yes, I do, amen and stuff. Life isn't fair, and the Justice card isn't about fairness, by which we usually mean equality. We can't say that from even before birth, any two people have exactly equal amounts of anything, let alone everything. Martin Luther King said that the moral arc of the universe is long and bends towards justice. The card is about true justice, about doing what is right, about restoring balance, about taking responsibility for actions, depending on your behavior. This card may be welcome or feared. It may feel like you can't see justice at work because sometimes it takes a while and sometimes you don't know the whole story. The bottom line of this card is that whatever bed you've made, it's time to sleep in it, which is perfect for me because yeah. Advice. First, make sure you aren't fretting about fairness. Well, I am fretting about fairness. About everyone having equal shares. Okay, well, there's some of that in there. That's not realistic or mature. Oh, now the cards are saying I'm mature. Okay. If you certain your actions have been in alignment with your own highest values, they have. Your ground, stand your ground, and trust that justice will prevail eventually. When it does, be as gracious about it as possible. If you know that you've been behaved according to your ideals, then you don't need to defend yourself. The scales say it's time to acknowledge and accept. The sword and the wand remind you to learn from the experience and resolve to live more impeccably in the future. So you living impeccably, stuff I was going to say before that, but it's about living your truth, what it is that you fully believe. Sometimes we stray off of our path of our beliefs because we want to seek justice for other people. Now, the dark right now are voiding themselves. The dark are consuming themselves. The dark, let's move this candle. Talking about the darks, maybe not. Can you see the flame inside of the? You can't really, huh? All right. Well, let's not get carried away with that. So, justice. I forgot what I was saying. Being impeccable with your word is kind of like in the Four Agreements too. That book called the Four Agreements. Mean what you say and say what you mean. Your word is a magic wand. What you focus on creates the reality that you live in, that you experience. Moving into a time where we're threading the needle, as Bashar says, we're going into this new version of reality that is interdimensional and galactic and on a bigger picture, and it's a bigger template, and there's different choice points and nodes, but individually, what we speaking our words precisely, our no meaning no, our yes meaning yes, say what we mean, being honest and with our authentic self, being self-aware, and regardless of where the chips may fall, as they say, regardless of who lives in your life, who leaves your life, regardless of what anyone else's interpretation is of your word or what their experiences is of you. You know your truth. You know what you said. You know what you did. You know who you are. And if you don't like who you are or who you were, the way you said it, just take this moment right now and forgive yourself and be honest with everyone involved. And if you can't do it with them in real life, do it in your mind's eye. Sit down and picture them and talk to them and tell them you're sorry for what happened and that you saw it differently than them or whatever. And be kind to yourself. You did the best you can in dealing with that situation. And if it just dramatically repelled people out of your life, then that was meant to be. And if whatever it drew into your life, that too was meant to be. Trusting yourself. I don't remember where I was going with that. Yeah. I'm shooting for 24 hours again with this dry fast, and then I think I'll go off for like, it's going to be in the middle of the night, so I might go off for half an hour. I might not end it till tomorrow. I'm not feeling headachy or weird, but I am feeling kind of tired and like my sentences are kind of falling off the page. I love that. We were talking about that the other day, and that's kind of my conversation style, right? The rev. My sentences just fall off the page. Yeah. Okay, justice. Not just us, but justice. Being judged, a fair outcome. Legal affairs, equilibrium, harmony, restoration, balance, fairness, arbitration, neutrality, impartiality, maintaining a proper balance, order restored, prudent money management, strategy, accountability, integrity, examination of conscience. I'm going to say a little prayer here in my mind. so it is. Amen. Clear vision, a sense of proportion, the power of intellect, rationality, a just outcome, the right decision, clear-cut perspective, intervention of the law. This is all good. I like this. Decisions need to maintain justice, law, and order, a trial, a court case. Yep, got all that going on. Dealing with the law, litigation, contracts, binding agreements, settlements, an apology, a marriage contract. Well, I definitely don't want that. I will not be getting married. But I like the idea of an apology. I like settlements, contracts, litigation, trial, justice, and all of that, maintaining balance and integrity with all of that. Amen, and so it is. Justice usually appears when you must weigh many factors to make a reasoned and thoughtful decision. This card cautions you to deliberate carefully and wisely before reaching any conclusions. It is a card of calm and balance. You would do well to examine your conscience and consider the other person's point of view before making a moral choice. Done. I already made that choice. Issue of fairness are prominent. Justice may also indicate involvement in legal proceedings in the near future. Legal matters will proceed in a fair and dispassionate manner. Justice will prevail in the end, especially if the judgment trump also appears upright in the spread. That's funny. An impartial third party may assist in bringing about a fair outcome. If someone has wronged you, you may receive an apology soon. Amen, and so it is. If you have acted unjustly, you are going to face the consequences. Amen, and so it is. Okay. People, arbitrators, lawyers, judges, witnesses, legal authorities, the court, someone who may make a decision, one who apologizes. Amen, and so it is. Okay, so then after that, we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So, fascinating to me, there's two reverse swords on both sides of justice. So yeah, Page of Swords reversed. Okay, what do we got here? Okay. This book doesn't do the swords reverse, so these pages are learning about something in a formal setting or as a new experience. Understand that they are going through and they work with them more effectively. Yeah, and then with those court cases and stuff to do with that, I am learning new things. Smart, excellent communicators and lovers of facts. The swords are idealistic but can become too committed to what they consider the truth. Been there, done that. Amen. Smart and sure of himself, this page loves practicing his abilities. His ideals and search for the truth drives his quest for perfection. He lacks finesse and sometimes wields his sword like a club. Ah, oh no, you did. He collects information like a magpie. I guess I'm the Page of Swords. It's too funny. And unfortunately can sometimes be gossipy and hurtful with his words. Okay, amen. He needs experience to release his judgmental nature and stop oversimplifying situations. When shown how to navigate shades of gray while maintaining ideals, he can become creative, out-of-the-box thinker. Okay, well, that really does go really well with the justice and all the things I am in court for now, and these endings. This is more like my personal life, and then this is in the background. And this is some of the projects that I have on my plate now paperwork I'm supposed to be doing, I put on my list for myself to be doing that I haven't done. No one else is requiring me to do this paperwork. I just want to do it. So that's just interesting. All that's pretty interesting. So let's see what this book says about the Page of Swords. And so I do get with dry fasting sometimes, like right now, I'm getting a little bit of a pull in my stomach. Let's see, Page of Swords. And I don't know what hour I'm on because I don't know what time it is. If it's like 5 o'clock, yeah, I still got 7 hours to go, 6 hours to go for 24 hours. So, yeah. All right, where do they put the pages in this book? Does anybody know? Do you know where they put the pages? Maybe this book doesn't have pages. Oh my gosh. Really, Crystal? Well, look, I got the Queens and the Knights. You think the pages come before that? Okay, well. So speaking of food, I've been eating barley lately. Do you guys like barley? I've been craving barley, and which is really interesting because just out of nowhere, and apparently it does a lot of really good things. So when I'm eating like just barley and salad. I guess if the pages aren't at the beginning, then we're just gonna not. I'm not gonna do pages. Okay. Anyway, that page of swords really did kind of describe me, because sometimes, the truth gets to be too much for me, and I gather facts, and I go and get like all of these photos and all of these pages and all of these right, page of swords. Oh my god, I didn't even see that. But right, I'll get pages of information. Like before I report on somebody, I've already gathered every photo I can possibly get, every bit of background, every bit of information before I ever say a word about anything, because people lock down the information. And so it's just stored away like a magpie, which is really cool. All right, so decisiveness, unexpected or upsetting news. And it was in the reverse, so that's upright. So quick thinking, okay, reverse. I don't like that. Upsetting news, I don't want upsetting news. Hypocrisy, I don't want anybody. Okay, well, that's what you're getting justice on. Okay, getting justice on the verbal attacks and the gossip and the deceit, and the backbiting and the cruelty and the legal summons and the unpredictability, bad news, unanticipated events. Someone may be using underhanded methods to spread information. Yeah, and that's what we're getting justice on. There's plenty of people doing that. A malicious person may be spying on you or working against you. Yes. Unexpected problems may surface. You may receive a promise that will be broken later. Okay, read the fine print. Okay, two-faced gossip, a shady character, someone who is unconcerned with the feelings of others, someone who's cold and calculating, a hypocrite, a blackmailer, a malicious person who spreads rumors, a ruthless or untrustworthy person. I can think of a few of those that fit that. And so right now, Spirit, I call my energy back from all those people, and I cut the cords. I call all my energy back from all those people described here, and I turn that energy into love and into light and into all good things. Okay, so so someone who's underhanded or undercover, a cunning person. I would like to clarify that card, Spirit, in that anything else that I need to know about the reverse page of swords in that. And I can see how it relates to the information in the other card of truth outing people. Yeah. Okay, so Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is beautiful, beautiful. I'll show it to you here. Ace of Cups about emotion, overflowing with emotion. Okay, new growth. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. The cups are always about emotion. And then I'll show it to you. You see that back here in the light? Ace of Cups. These cards are just beautiful. They're the Barbara Moore Wizard Tarot. Very, very nice. Okay. Relationship, peace, love, healing, creativity, overwhelming emotions, affection, forgiveness. Okay, so in relation to the reverse page of swords and the cunning person, the cruelty of the person, that person hurt me. I feel overflowing of emotion and pain and hurt. And Spirit's reminding me that the only reason any of that might have hurt me is because of the definition I put to the words. If someone's saying something I don't prefer, don't be around them. If someone's out there cruelly lying and gossiping, that's for the ears of who's ever buying into whatever they're saying. If who's ever is buying into whatever they're saying isn't going to research the information themselves because they're getting some sort of high or some sort of adrenaline fix from going, oh yeah, we know that she's bad. This is great that she's bad. This is bad. And they're not looking at the information themselves. Or if someone said something cruel to you, just like out of nowhere, makes no sense at all, completely against your morals, completely wrong and invalid in your perception of reality of what happened or your belief or your morals, just simply remove that person from your life. Obviously, never talking about minor children, but there's no reason we can't remove anyone from our life. The society teaches us, oh, we got to keep our mothers in our life. We got to stay married forever. We got to, so that you're miserable, your kids are miserable, your kids learn that that's what love is. You don't have to keep these people in your life. Okay, so you remove them from your life. Then you keep thinking about them, going, oh, I miss them, or I want this, or I want that. You keep thinking about the good. Well, but what they did was so cruel, so hypocritical, such a lie, their pain body, their shame body, what they did that is within their belief system for them is so out of alignment with me, that I simply do not want them in my life at all. So why then do we go into any sort of depression or sadness because they're not in our life, or we don't want them in our life? That's because we're addicted to feeling bad or low vibrations. And so the heavy emotions is connected to that. And soul, okay, representing water, the soul, relationships, emotions, creativity, imagination, friends, family, receptivity. Aces are a new beginning, a gift or opportunity filled with potential. They are freely giving and must be accepted and used, or they vanish. Use them well. The Ace of Cups brings you soul-quenching renewal. Whatever your spirit needs, you will find in this gift. Okay, so as a clarity to all that we just said about the Page of Swords, that means that everything that you're removing from your life, all of these gossipy people, all of these people lying, and people that maybe owe you an apology, or all the things we just listed, that your emotions that you're going through about them is clearing out the old, clearing out old patterns, clearing what you used to think about people, clearing what you used to need from people and what you no longer need. And it's a gift. Our souls and emotion fuel our action and our magic. So be prepared to feel extra powerful in the most beneficial way. If you felt drained, make sure you drink more deeply to replenish your well, even if you're dry fasting. So basically it's saying that, yeah, it's cutting off the dead wood. It's cutting out the old. All of these people that mentioned in the swords, these malicious people, these people that aren't being truthful, these people that are hypocritical, or that are blackmailing, or that are, spreading lies, or that owe you an apology, they are creating all of this emotion that is leading to all of this wonderful new. And to just trust in that. Be prepared to feel extra powerful in the most beneficent ways. I like that. If you feel drained, make sure you drink more and deeply to replenish your well. And so drink more, yes, can mean water, can mean all kinds of lovely liquids, but also drinking more means bringing more of what you want into your life. So what do you think about things that you like. Think about things you want to bring into your life. Even if you can't imagine, Spirit says, what you want next, or if you can't believe that the things that you want you can have, or if you don't even want things that are of this realm or this world, just focus on the feeling that you want to feel like. Permanent joy, permanent peace, permanent bliss. And every day doing something like that for yourself and your own thoughts. How do you want a lover to treat you? How do you want your best friend to treat you? How do you want people to treat you? Treat yourself that way in your thoughts. Be kind to yourself in the way you look at yourself. Don't judge your body. Don't judge your actions. Love yourself and accept yourself and speak your truth to yourself and to others. This card can also mark the beginning of a new relationship or connection. Keep your eyes and heart open for a new friend, romantic or platonic. Maybe you needed a new relationship with yourself. Yes, that's more it. I'm working on a new relationship with myself. If so, this gently offers forgiveness, and perhaps you can extend some of that to yourself, right? So forgiving ourselves and forgiveness. So forgiving these folks here. Let's draw a clarity card on the Justice. Reversed Queen of Swords. So, yeah, absolutely. I kind of what that means to me is the Queen of Swords about to be back in her power for herself and the things that she values. And yeah, I'm starting to feel some of the hunger stuff now. The get a little feeling here, and I get a little pull in my stomach, and so I'm not going to go off my dry fast because I'm shooting for 24 hours again. So what I will be doing is I will be going to try to sleep. Okay, why did I throw that in there? Well, don't question me. All right. All right, so reversed. The reversed Queen of Swords, it says a real bitch. Okay, so so the Justice is overcoming something that has been a real challenge. People that have had disregard for the law, people that have spread misinformation and complaining, manipulation, prejudiced, malicious lies, vindictiveness. These are the things that I'll be getting justice over, that you'll be getting justice over. It says, heaven has no rags like love to hatred turned, nor hell a fury like a woman scorned. William Congreve, the Mourning Bride, 1697. Mourning, as in MOURN. Heaven has no rage like love to hatred turned, nor hell a fury like a woman scorned. Okay, so that's a quote in the reverse, and also in the reverse, yeah, I'm going to get justice over that, and so are you. Over bad news, vindictiveness, bitterness, loss, coldness, untruthfulness, grief, whining, loneliness, my way or the highway, misery loves company, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And isn't that something? Because that's a Mandela effect. In this reality, mirror, mirror doesn't exist in the movie. It's magic mirror. So this book is mirroring the new reality, the old reality. Pettiness, lack of perspective, unreliability, gossip, all of that. Justice over all of that. How cool is that? Okay, and then as far as the Ten of Swords go and what is ending, we discussed it, and I feel like Spirit has showed me pretty thorough what that is. But I'm asking for a clarity card on the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay, Two of Cups, which is the Lover's card, but it can also mean a decision, a choice. Interesting. So there was a choice you made, and bringing these endings, and just to go back to the beginning of the video and look at what we said about the Ten of Swords. Yeah, so Two of Cups. If you're asking about a situation of love, then it usually means that lovers. But when you're asking about anything else, it is, a choice. It's mutuality, a happy union. And that could be, I guess if we're talking about a union too, could be with, ourself, like we just said in the other card, with our true self, our authentic self. After this ending, all the swords in my back, in your back, all this letting go, then a happy union. A happy union is connected to that, or maybe the betrayal and the loss is connected to the lovers. I don't really, yeah. Cooperation, a balanced partnership, mutual exchange, kindness, a happy atmosphere, an end to hostilities, emotional equilibrium, harmony, union, mutual respect, finding common ground, reconciliation, commitment to a relationship, platonic love, entering into a contract or agreement. Yeah, so a new contract or agreement, right? Getting engaged, no, never. I love you. Okay, so I don't mean that negatively about never getting engaged, but I don't want to be in the construct of marriage. I don't want a handler. I don't want someone to have an opinion every day of what I eat, when I eat it, when I get up, where I go, what I do. And Spirit's showing me that right now that's in a connection to what I'm doing to myself. Like, I do have an opinion on what I'm doing every day. I have an opinion on, whether it's exciting enough or valid enough, or whether it's, worth even being existing in it. And I do that to myself. I don't want to do it to myself. I certainly don't want to do it with someone else. And I don't want to, people change. People can change in a minute. The first month you meet them, people can change 10 years later. People can, and I expect people to change every freaking day in some way. That's how it is. We change. Our thoughts create our reality, and I would never want to hold someone into being a certain version of themselves. And I don't want to emotionally abuse someone by going, "Oh my gosh, you change." People change, and I don't want someone around questioning me about my change. I've been a little negative, it sounds like, about marriage in quite a few videos, but I don't want marriage. And I don't want someone to think that they own me, or, you get married and then they stop kissing you. Oh, we're monogamous now, so now I don't ever have to kiss you or touch you or visit with you about anything interesting or do anything, but yet I get an opinion over everything you say and everything you wear. Like, yeah, that's what I see in marriages. And even the ones you think, are the best, you don't know what's going on in their house, of course. Maybe people have beautiful marriages. But to me, there's always some form of handler or some form of, you have to be this version of you for me to love you or touch you. Or, if you want to survive, or you want to live indoors, or you want to eat food, it's my way or the highway, right? Which came up in one of these readings. Maybe it was this one. And so I don't want that. So this marriage thing in this, I say, no, thank you. No. But the I love you, yes, I love you is good. Two of Cups suggests the continuance of a harmonious relationship. If you've been involved in a dispute, you are able to find common ground and reach a compromise between opposing viewpoints. Now is the time. Let me read that. You may find yourself deciding to enter into a contract or a binding agreement. Now, that's kind of like marriage, but, and I will be entering into a contract within the next 6 months. There'll be more paperwork to do with all the same theme. Yeah. Partners, friends, lovers, colleagues. That clarification. Reverse death. Okay, so I said I was going to do some yes or no's, but this video is kind of long, so I'm going to do that in the next video. So get to thinking about your yes or no's. 9 of Cups, okay. All right, well, goodbye for now. I can't reach this to shut it off, so you'll have to just wait for me to get over there. Okay, then. I love you. Bye.